on the trip to Malaysia, to Kuta Kinabalu on Borneo. And that's a 13 hours flight from Oslo. And it was in another juice company or something. And we didn't do much business there, but we had a lot of fun. So you should go on that trip. And when I was going and traveling, I always had this with me because it's always there. I can't do anything with that. And I have never kind of brought some extra equipment on the trips because it's always working. But this time it was a 13 hours flight, so I put some extra stuff in my backpack. And then we came into the security, airport security. You know, everybody's testing you. And I have always been stopped there. I have a lot of fun stories about that because in Thailand, when they stop you at the security and you have these cute little Thai ladies. And then they just, and then they just take off my shirt. And it's hundreds of people around. And I said, that's kind of funny. But it wasn't like that in Norway. So I was, and this rarely happens, but I was in the middle of the security. I didn't think about it, put my backpack through the scanner, and this guy come up, and suddenly I felt, my goodness, literally shit happens. My equipment fell off. Off. In my leg, stuck in the middle of the security. So I said, yeah, I have to run. Yeah, I understand that, he said. So I ran to the toilet and I picked up my equipment, my extra equipment that I had in my backpack. And you wouldn't believe this. But when I'm on long distance flying, I'm using special socks, like up to the knee. That's not very sexy at all, but I had that. And the thing I had brought in my backpack was a shorts, Scottish pattern, beige shorts. Scottish pattern, beige shorts, long blue socks, and I had a lousy t-shirt or something, and a brown jacket. So I came off, I looked like a crazy Scots golfer, going crazy wherever. And I was ready to fly for 13 hours in that outfit. And we had a picture of it, but we have lost it. Eric was taking a picture, but he could. I came out from the bathroom with these blue stockings, Scotch patterned shorts, and a jacket, looking like an idiot. And Eric saw me coming out, and he laughed so bad he almost fell on the floor. He was laughing for minutes, absolutely insane. But and the moral and the point of this story is like, don't cheat in airport security. Don't do that. That's, if you can avoid that, do that. Don't do that. But so we came to Borneo. That's Eric and his brother. So they were having their own bus. Actually, had a wonderful time. But I could also, when I was in that situation in the airport, I could have been so embarrassed that I said, I'm not going on this trip. I could have said that, easy. But that was never my thought. But I know people who have the same conditions that actually would do that because they kind of define themselves with their job, with their sickness, with their hair color or whatever. And it lets them define them. And the learning point here is that, now I'm going to be a little serious, because before World War II, there was a guy called Viktor Frankl, and he was a psychiatrist. And before Viktor Frankl, it was kind of, it was Freud and Jung, and I'm not going to do a psychology lesson here, but it was like that, but they kind of said that if you have had a really bad life, your father has been sexually abusing you, your mother was an alcoholic, whatever, you are going to have a bad time the rest of your life. It's like action, reaction. What happened to you are going to continue. That was kind of the lessons in psychiatry that days. It was like, if you have experienced a lot of bad stuff, you are most likely to bring that further on. But Viktor Frankl, he was from Austria, and in 1938 he could actually leave Austria and go to USA. But then he fell in love with he was a Jew, a Jewish lady, and he didn't leave. So he was put into concentration camps in Germany. And he was tortured, and most of his family, his girlfriend and everybody was killed in the concentration camps. And up to then, as I told you, it was like if something bad is happening to you, you will kind of react to that. But what Viktor Frankl actually discovered was that if people or the circumstances or anything is happening to me, I can actually choose my reaction.